Welcome back to the Zero Weakness Podcast, where we talk about how to be a better lifter, how to be a better coach, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy.
All right, we're on. We're back. Another episode of the ZeroW Podcast. You've been missing us. It's been a few weeks. It's probably going to be a few weeks more after this as well. I disappear again. So unless you guys are going to record without me, which you're more than welcome to.
Where are you going this time?
I got to go build whales.
That's right.
Hang on.
Oh, sick.
Can you hold that for me?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, use establishment 25 for 25% off and free shipping. Thank you, Shero. Shero? It's because I just typed Sherry into my phone and Shero came up. And thank you, CJ. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's been a while. We're a little bit rusty.
My meds aren't kicking in yet. I only took them 10 minutes ago. But we're back.
We are back.
We're back. Are we switching up the order this week? Are we going to do the gratefuls? What have you been up to? Then the topics, then the shit talk.
All right, done.
Cool.
That's what you suggested last time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember.
Nah, it's been a while. I'm a little bit rusty. All right, before we start, what am I grateful for? I'll kick off the gratefuls. I'm grateful for this podcast. I don't know if you guys know, this is our 100th episode.
Whoa.
So I got us some treats for the 100th episode.
Whoa.
All right, so what I initially wanted to do was I wanted to scull a beer on the podcast. But look, I had a pretty big weekend.
No.
Tom Bro can confirm.
Don't know. You got me drunk. I don't remember a thing.
Tom Bro had a gin and juice with me. Very enjoyable. But yeah, so I had a big weekend. So liquor wasn't going to go down well today. All right, so I'm going to start with Tom Bro. Very grateful for you, brother.
Well, thank you.
You're the reason why this podcast,
Exists.
Yeah. So it's non-alcoholic, but I got you a beer.
Oh, A&W root beer.
It's a root beer.
Hey.
I love A&W.
Okay, there
I'm
you
going
go,
to be
brother.
burping the whole thing.
And then I got you
Oh, Krabby Patty.
some Krabby Patties.
Hey.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Cool.
CJ, you're going to have to pass this along to CJ. All right, my brother. I got you a Dr. Pepper cherry cola.
Oh, wait. Can I swap?
No, we got more in the fridge. Fridge. You good?
Yes.
And then, CJ, I saw you eating Filipino hot dogs the other day.
Uh-huh.
So,
No way.
you're a hot dog guy.
Super gummy.
Yes.
So I got your hot dog. All right. Very grateful for you. You legit, this podcast doesn't really exist without you as well. So very
Exactly.
grateful for you, brother.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Bridget.
The hot dog.
All right. Bridget's not a fizzy drink kind of person. No. However, she does like water. So I got her a liquid death. Got dark undertones, just
Hey.
like Bridget's personality.
Nice.
Personality. Jeez.
So it's
What is
Thank
it?
you.
it's sparkling water.
Convicted melon flavored sparkling water.
Yep. And then this is a little bit of a cop out. They had no Lord of the Rings, so we went with Harry Potter.
That'll do. That'll do.
Close
They
enough.
stole enough from the Lord of the Rings, so it's all right.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
All right.
That's so cool.
So enjoy your beverages. And
What'd you get?
I got myself I'm a sparkling water connoisseur.
Cheers.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
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 Mango chainsaw I got.
Man, that's really good.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole podcast now.
All right.
All right. Well, while you do that,
Not
That's
bad.
not bad.
thank you, James. That's very cute.
That's all right.
For
Thank you,
sparkling
Jane.
water, I'm so surprised that's the branding.
Liquid death.
This is so cool.
For
I'm going to keep this
sparkling
can
water.
as well.
I was wondering why that charge came out of my Amex. No,
Imagine if it did.
I wouldn't have questioned it. Trust you. I'm grateful for my dad. Just gave me a call. He's just moved up north to Ayr. That's why Meg and I went up there the other week. We drove his wife's car up for her, and Meg's never been to Mackay. Don't know why you would. Outside of Zero, literally Zero is the highlight of the entire Mackay now.
Yeah, well.
There's nothing else there.
Wow.
So it was cool for her to see the gym and see the town the gym is in, Mackay. No. It's actually always cool to catch up with Dean, Becca, Carly, Khan, all of them. And they did actually take us somewhere really cool. We went to Finch Hatton Gorge jumped in the water and had a swim and got attacked by leeches. So that was great.
Nice.
You guys all look really jacked, by the way.
Oh no, that photo is like, we spoke about body dysmorphia and body issues the other week. That one was like, okay, I'm never eating again.
Really?
We thought you looked jacked.
Nah, that was bad.
No, it wasn't.
It was bad.
How?
So bad.
I'm never eating again.
You got to understand that was after making the women take about 18,000 photos of us, because all of us would look at it and be like, no, too fat. Like, that was the best of a worst bunch.
It was a great photo.
Yeah, it's a
Thank
good
you.
photo. The lads.
Thank you. Anyway, grateful for my dad, and I wish him all the best up north in air. Cheers, Dad.
Amazing.
No, you're never going to listen to this. You're too busy on the phone to Netflix.
I thought you were about to say your favourite part about Mackay is leaving. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Nah, I always feel sad leaving Mackay because I like hanging out with the people up there.
Yeah. I love seeing Khan. Every time I see Khan, it's a highlight of a competition.
Yes.
He's great.
Well,
So
he's back
hilarious.
down this weekend, so.
Yeah, he messaged
Yeah,
me this
so
morning. Said, see you this weekend with a wee kiss.
Hey,
It's my man.
Nice.
he's crack up.
All right,
Oh, so
Bridget,
good.
what do you got?
I am grateful for, I did a little post about it recently. I'm just grateful for where I'm at with my life in general and my physique at the moment. I think we spend so much time thinking about where we could be that we don't take time to stop and focus on where we are. So if I look back like 10 years ago, if me 10 years ago was looking at me now, I'd be living my dream life. So
Nice.
I'm very grateful.
It's like throwback to episode 64 where your quote was, life happens when you're busy making other
true.
plans.
64.
That was one of your quotes.
Really?
Yep.
How did you remember that?
Because I remember all the quotes.
All the quotes.
I live my life by them. CJ's gardening and wars.
Gardening and
James is making men hard.
What's your theme, Thomas?
I don't know. Something hormosy.
Yeah, I was about to say something business.
Just wish hormosy.
wish team.
No, that's really cool. Were your legs sore after Monday?
They're still sore.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
We did something.
Yeah. I'll talk about that. You've actually been talking about it this whole time. About your
About
session.
how sore my legs
Yeah.
are in the session.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I haven't sweat that much in ages.
She
All right.
messaged me this morning. She's like, I'm not coming to train. My whole body's sore.
CJ, what you got? What you grateful for?
Very on brand. My mates. Last week we moved house. I moved up to Coomera, and yeah, I didn't even ask any of my mates, and they just literally just came over and just helped me move.
Wow.
Just so generous of them. They got off work early, came over and helped us do heaps of runs up and down, tip runs. So very grateful for them, because you don't realize how much you have to move when you move. So I was like, yeah, me and my mum got this sweet. And now looking back, I was like, there's no way I could have got it done without them. So very grateful
Yeah.
for them.
Friends who help you move house are like the realest friends.
The-
I think,
yeah.
'cause no one wants to move house.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know what's the worst though? When someone's got like I feel sorry for my mates that have utes and vans.
They always get roped into it.
Hey bro, how you been? Haven't spoken in months.
In months.
I always feel
How's the ute going? By the way,
Still going strong.
it's funny you say that about true friends, Bridget, because none of you guys helped me move. So
You asked,
what?
and then we offered, and then you said you were fine.
true friend would have just showed up like CJ's friends.
I would have got a warning.
gym to
I would have got
run.
a warning for not being at work. Hey, where were you?
Lose.
Either way.
Catch 22.
All right.
All right, I'll kick off the quotes.
Oh, I don't even have one.
It isn't the things themselves that disturb people, but the judgments that they form about them.
Say that again.
It isn't the things themselves that disturb people, but the judgments that they form about them.
Yeah.
That deserve people? Deserve? Is that?
Disserve.
Deserve.
Serve?
Sorry.
Wait, can I not read or something? It isn't the things themselves that disturb
Or
Disturb.
people, but the judgments that they form about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I felt like I was in a spelling. Do you want the Latin? Do you want the Latin origin as well? Or
I
Could
thought you
I
were saying
have that in a
disserve.
sentence, please?
All right. I'm
Oh my
going
god.
on brand with my recent trip to China. I'm going with a Chinese proverb.
Oh.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Now.
Oh.
Bridget
yeah.
knows.
Come on.
I know that one.
Come on now.
I like China Bro 7.
Nice.
China Bro 7.
You know how, CJ, you know how when like any NBA player goes to the China and they all get this like new personality about them?
Yeah.
So there's like China LeBron, Chinese Cope, Chinese Clay. They're all like different guys when they come back. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ni hao ma.
Oh,
China Bro 7.
come on.
All right, CJ.
Strength isn't how powerful you are, it's how much power you can control. So,
Ooh, I'm going to say that next time I fail a lift.
what? yeah. I couldn't control the power. Yes, very kind of Jordan Peterson about like, it's about being dangerous, but having the ability to be dangerous, but to be able to sheath it.
Nice.
What are we going to do without men?
That's really good. That's a very good Peterson.
I sent you that reel the other day,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
When there were just two guys doing Jordan
So
Peterson.
many
back to
people
I
back.
sending
thought it was
him.
like a high-pitched bane. That's what it sounded like to
It did
me.
sound like that too.
That is Jordan Peterson.
Kind of, yeah. Bane's just British.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I've got most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on going.
Nice.
Oh,
Just
bit off,
Googled it.
bit
just
off
now.
brand.
No, yeah,
Is
Yeah.
that's almost Hormozy-esque.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
No dark undertones. No death.
dark undertones.
I got my liquid death.
That's
already.
right.
Nice.
You've replaced it.
All right. So we're going to get into the shit talk after we talk about the...
Well, I want to do China recap first.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Sorry.
and I also want to talk about ZeroW PRO because that's very
Yes.
relevant.
Yep. Let's do it.
I mean, it's relevant to us because it's this weekend. To you listening, it's relevant a week ago. But we're going to talk about it anyway. So I went over China with Daniel. We were basically trying to refine some of our equipment, look for new equipment suppliers, and just get a feel for how things go over there. And it was great. So I have to immediately shout out Tim and Sherry, who looked after us over there. They're a connection that we've made a couple of years ago, one of our suppliers, and they did everything for us, basically. They booked all our travel, they booked all our accommodation, our train rides, they sorted it all out because navigating China is way more difficult than you'd think. It's not that easy, especially in rural China. Like we were stunned at the fact that it is so much more of a different world than we were expecting. I've been to a lot of strange places around the world. Strange as in different to what I'm used to or different to the Western world. And China was on a whole nother level. So Tim was great. He speaks full English. He grew up in America. Sherry spoke a little bit of English. But besides those two, we didn't really encounter anybody who spoke any English, which is nice. Like it's nice to feel like you're in a foreign place. But we would have been lost without them. And that it was like you imagine you go to a foreign country and hang out with people 24/7 that you've never met. It could be a disaster. But Tim and Sherry were just very much our people. They were so great to hang out with. We ate with them. We laughed with them. We played games with them on the train for hours. It was awesome. So thank you, Tim. I know you've been desperate for this shout out. I know you're sitting there waiting for it. He listens to the podcast. He's Zero through and through. He's now our official Chinese dad. So thank you, Dad.
Oh, that's so cool.
How did you guys... So how did you link up with Tim and Sherry?
Tim is one of our suppliers. So
Oh, right, okay.
He's one of our equipment suppliers over there, and we've worked very closely with him in designing and building the combo racks, the monoliths, the benches. He's been pivotal with all of that sort of stuff. So I haven't had much to do with him up until this point. I've had a couple of calls with him over the years, but Daniel's done all the communicating, so they're very close. They speak almost every day, just in terms of getting all the equipment for the Zero gyms and now the equipment that we sell up to scratch. So, yeah.
You sent me a video while you were over there of some innovative pieces of equipment. Are you allowed to talk about that, or you don't want to just yet?
Not just yet. We're just making some changes to our combo racks to make them a little bit more user-friendly and coming up with a few new ideas for other pieces of equipment, but nothing too crazy. But until they're set in stone, I'd rather not say anything.
I won't talk about it like exactly, but it's crazy to think that you guys have innovated something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a car, right? Every car is just built upon another car. And so Just like anything that any of us do, you know, making a powerlifting federation, making a powerlifting gym, you look to those around you for inspiration, and it's quite hard when you're doing that to not get caught in the trap of not being able to see the bigger picture. So a lot of the times these innovations are just very basic and right in your face. You just don't think of them because everything's always been done a particular way.
Yeah, because we see it how it is. Like powerlifting's powerlifting. Like we use that bar, we use this. So when you saw that, I was mind blown. So I can't wait to see it come to fruition. Or
I love how this conversation makes it sound like it's something a lot more impressive than what it actually is.
No, I couldn't believe it. I was like, why has no one done this?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's the same. We just get used to particular inconveniences in life that we don't think about because we're just like, this is the way it is. Yeah. But it was crazy seeing the factories from which the biggest lifting brands in the world come from. As in crazy to see the scale of it, but also the simplicity of it. Crazy to see it happening. Like, you know, you wear a pair of Nikes and you never imagine yourself standing in the Nike factory. So like, I won't say the brand names, but you use this piece of equipment. You never imagine watching a group of Chinese people putting it together and actually like the raw material, then pouring into a mold, then appearing in its raw form, then getting paid. You never imagine actually seeing that. So it's hard to describe what it's actually like. It's not mind-blowing, but for me it is.
It's kind of surreal.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. I can't believe the size of those factories, the video that you showed us.
Yeah, maybe we can make this little clip and put a thing of where I went. But one particular factory that I showed all these guys, I'll try and describe it. It's like me standing in this car park and I'm filming, panning across, and it's just like 6-7 buildings that are gigantic. Like think the size of 4 or 5 Bunnings or Ikeas. And they're just all there. And then there's a couple of them deep and they just seem to go on forever. Just the scale at which stuff is done over there is phenomenal.
Insane.
No wonder why there's such a superpower, eh? Like look how they just do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, me and Daniel, we were absolutely mind blown. Like, we stayed in these 2 provinces, so we didn't go to like Beijing or Shanghai or anything like that. They were regional or rural provinces that were just farming towns that have like blown up on industry, and in this case, gym industry. And so they're very much country towns that have been industrialized. But like you walk along, you just go block after block after block of these high rises that would have hundreds of apartments, and they're just empty. There's just nothing there. It's like a ghost town. It's so weird. Everything vehicle-wise over there, I'd say like 70 to 80% of the vehicles we saw were electric as well. So everything's so quiet. And like, I don't know, having not been to China, what would your perception of what the city or a town would be like? Do you think it would be loud, smelly, dirty?
Bridget, you know, I watch a lot of I've watched heaps of random documentary. When I go down rabbit holes, I go down them hard. So I've watched lots of rural China documentaries and like the cities where things are made. So I already had like, when I saw that, I was like, I didn't think anything other than that.
Yeah, like where we were staying, you know, not in the heart of where all the factories are, but in the like place where the people live. It was like immaculate, perfectly kept, everything so lush and green, like so much vegetation. I just expected like a barren industrial land. And I mean, like, this is naive of me because I didn't know anything about it going in. So I don't even know where these expectations come from. But like, we were like, man, this is so nice. If you've ever been to Singapore, like Singapore is very well kept and it very much felt like that.
Yeah, wow.
It's a lot less busy.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked from what you showed me because, I was the same. I remember I went to Shanghai when I was like a little, like when I was 3 or 4. And I just remember it being like so busy and like smoky and moggy. And what you showed me was like, that's not what I remember or think like at all of what China looks like. Yeah, the big thing was what you're saying, the vegetation. That's wild. To me, like in my head was sort of like, I don't know if you ever watched the show like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
How it's like that real industrial dirt. That's what I thought it was. And when you were showing me, it's like, it is so pristine and clinical.
Yeah.
which is so weird.
Like even you go to the factories and you're expecting the factories like that, but out in the garden they've got food growing, they've got like fruit plants, they've got animals there, they've got dogs. A lot of them were into exotic birds. They had a bunch of birds.
Really?
It's just really, really different to what I expected.
Yeah, I like imagine it to be similar to Singapore.
Yeah.
Like when I used to go, my dad used to be based out of Singapore. So when I'd go there, I'd always just think, well, this place doesn't seem real. It's so clean, it's so pristine, and everything's perfect.
I think as well, like, because the world hates places like China, they constantly portray it in the worst possible light. So you have that perception. But B, like, it's advanced so much in the last 10 years that our perceptions are based off what we learned when we were exposed to a lot more of that stuff. Because I don't know about you guys. I don't see any mainstream news. I don't listen to the radio. So all of my hearing or visions of China has come from stuff from like 10 years ago. And it's way beyond that. There was a funny moment on like our second night where Tim was like, wow, it's so clear. Look, a star. There was one piddly little star in the sky. We're like, oh, yeah, so beautiful. Unreal.
I feel like in the Western world, we've got these crazy or very different perceptions of places like China and Russia and things like that. I had a friend that played rugby in Russia, and he said it was the favorite, like the best year of his life.
Yeah, I've only ever heard good things about Russia from people that have gone and come back. I would say that I've been to LA a bunch of times, and the pollution in LA was 10 times worse every time than what I experienced anywhere in China.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. The pollution and just the grubbiness, way worse in LA than China.
That's
But
all I've heard about LA is how dirty it is.
It's hard though. It's like I'm making a generalization of China as a whole. It's like there probably are places that are like that.
Yeah,
It just happened that where we were wasn't like that. It's funny because like you hear what they like Tim and Sherry say to us about Chinese culture and Chinese people, and then I called Daniel out on one thing. Because I do this all the time as well. When you hear someone else doing it, it just stands out a bit more. When we're like, oh no, in Australia, no one would ever do that. It's like, who are we to make that call? Like, we're not qualified to make that call. It's funny how like your perceptions of people's culture is just based on one person's travel experience. And like the other people just drink it and they're like, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, not one person out of 28 million would do that here in Australia.
Exactly. And then you think of that in China when they're saying it back. It's like there's 1 billion people. It's like Chinese people would never say that. Like all 1 billion?
All of them?
How big is China? Is it bigger than the United States? Like landmass?
It's slightly bigger than Australia.
Yeah.
I don't and
I think Australia and the US are pretty similar.
Yeah, so it'd be on par.
Yeah.
Because we got curious about that too and like had one of those map overlays to it's pretty close to the size of Australia.
Wow.
Yeah.
And pretty densely populated, like all throughout, or?
Well, I mean, like we were in these provinces, which I guess is similar to like a state, and the population would be like 100 million. But when we were there, it felt like less than Brisbane.
Yeah, it's just
So
spread out.
We just didn't.
Wow.
Yeah, we hardly saw anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's not like it was a ghost town. Genuinely, you saw lots of people, but it wasn't like crazy traffic, crazy busy, noisy. Didn't have that experiences at all.
Yeah,
It's
wow.
crazy.
It's definitely on the bucket list. I want to go to China one day.
Yeah.
I watched some Olympic weightlifting.
That's I've been obsessed with I've been watching this dude called, is it Squat Journal? And he just films, because you know they're always quite private media wise and things like that. And he goes like deep dive and like you actually get to see like Liu Jiajin, all these other dudes like personalities.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because you've watched weightlifting forever too, we've never really got to, well, do you know what I mean? Like, like we've like loosely followed it, but you've never got to see their personalities.
It's the same in powerlifting. Like before social media, like if a YouTube video filming someone's full training session came out, I was like, whoa. There's this one video of Posdev doing a deadlift session that I've probably watched about 14,000 times. Because back in the day, it was like he was my idol. And it was just a session of him like warming up and it's like, whoa, that's how he does 70. Crazy. Then you try and do it and you look like a piece of shit. But no, I get what you're saying. Like it's cool to, especially with guys like that are super private.
Yeah, and like even just watching them like smile and laugh and seeing what they're eating and things like that, it's just so like, I'm like, what the hell? Never get to see this.
Is it all translated? Do you have closed captions or anything like that?
Nah. It's all in Chinese. Are there subtitles? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of talking that happens. It's just someone there filming them doing their day-to-day stuff. I don't think they talk to the camera or anything, do they?
No, not really. But it's
Yeah.
just so fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
It's always funny, like, again, just reflecting on China, we'd be looking at a piece of equipment and say to Tim, "Oh, can you ask him about this one particular thing?" It'll be like a yes or no question. Does this do that? And then they'd get engaged in like a 15-minute conversation. Me and Daniel was like, trying to pick up on some sort of mannerism to just answer the question. And then they'd finish talking and be like, "So what was the answer?" He'd be like, "Oh, let me check." What did you guys just talk about? It was so great.
When do you reckon you'll go back?
I don't know, but it won't be a regular thing. I know that much. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if we end up over there once a year or once every 18 months,
cool.
something like that.
What about a Zero in China?
All right, let's move on to the next topic.
ZeroW PRO update.
Yeah, it's on Saturday.
Yeah, sweet. Can't wait. Predictions?
Well, before that, it's kind of sucky to say, but we had bought all this custom equipment for the comp. So we were like doing full Zero equipment in the warm-up room. We bought a special platform. We bought special toaster racks, all for the ZeroW PRO. And then our container got hit by a typhoon, the departing port got hit by a typhoon.
No way.
And messed everything up.
Wow.
So very, very unfortunate that we're not going to have that. So we're just going to have to hold off until big competitions next year. I mean, it'll still be all the same equipment. We'll still have amazing stuff. But we were so excited to bring this brand new, pristine look to the ZeroW PRO. But it's okay. It's okay.
Wow.
Predictions, man, I don't know. I've been so invested in just the Zero lifters. And there is a lot of talent outside of Zero that's doing the comp. So not 100% sure. Have you looked into it much?
A little bit. There's a few that I really like. So Tom Hardy's obviously a favorite. He's fucking strong. Josh Takua. He's wearing wraps as well. So he messaged me the other day asking if I can wrap his knees.
Did he go easy at USAPL Nationals?
Yeah.
Is this why?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Because I'm guessing like he got a tiny bit of money from winning Did he win?
Yeah.
So what, they got like $500 or something?
I'm not too
maybe
sure.
Even less,
Yeah.
maybe like 300. So I'm guessing he's going for the $6,000 and going a bit harder. Because I was surprised. I saw him squat 275.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can squat over 300. So I figured he was just doing what he had to do to win.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him. Is his name Willie?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he comes train Willis.
Yep, at Zero Brisbane.
Yep.
He's a bit of a monster.
Trains with Jay Tyler down here sometimes. He's strong. There's two guys coming over from Perth, but I'm particularly excited to see Darwin lift.
Yeah.
Darwin's really
Monster.
strong. So that'll be a good battle in the pros between Darwin, Tommy, Takua. Yeah, it'll be sick.
It's going to be exciting. Really exciting.
Lydia's lifter is off its tits.
Who's that?
Lydia Hankey.
Oh, yeah.
The Lydia.
Yeah, she's oh man, yeah, it's going to be fucking awesome.
She's had the best prep she's ever had since working together.
Wow.
Yeah, by far.
Wow.
Like, mentally, physically, everything's just gone absolutely perfect. She pulled 270 in training like it was nothing.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Lilley Riley.
Lilley
Yeah.
Riley, I mean, Lily's just doing Lily things. This is our first prep together, and we haven't actually prepped for this comp. We're training through it, so we haven't peaked for the ZeroW PRO because she's got the Nightmare on Mulder Street at the end of the month. So she's going for a 600 dots.
That's fucked.
I don't know if that would put her as number one dots in Australia.
Um,
I'm not sure. We need to look that up.
what's her name? She hasn't competed in forever. I think she still might be higher.
I know who you're talking about. Starts with the C.
Really jacked.
Yeah, I'm having a mind blank as well.
And does she not powerlift anymore?
No,
No.
don't think so.
Okay. Well, yeah, I forgot her name, but yeah, she was a weapon. Yeah. What else do we have here? Oh, the Zero app. It's launching soon.
Yeah. So I recorded a bunch of instructional videos over the last couple of weeks, and we'll do some exercise stuff to top it all off. We've got 100 programs currently in the app. I'm going to release it with 60, and then we'll drip feed out the others over time. just so we can continue to add value, so we can continue to build the app over time so you can see its evolution. And it also makes it a little less overwhelming for the consumer, because having too much options, people will get a bit lost in how many programs there actually are in it. But that's really exciting. We'll say more and more on social media as we get closer to the launch date. So just keep an eye out on Instagram and social media. And then, next week I go to Wales to build Zero Wales with Jordan and the team over there. So that's really exciting. The travel is not exciting because I fly via my mum to take advantage of some family discounts. I have to go through America, which means I have to fly from here to America and then America to UK, which is the very, very long way around.
Yeah, how long is it?
It'll be, if I can get direct from like San Francisco or LA to London, it'll be 2 14/15 hour flights. Damn. If I have to go via Melbourne, it's like a 16-hour flight and then a 14-hour flight.
Is it with a decent airline, at least? Like good entertainment and food?
Yeah. And if the stars align, because I fly standby when I fly through Mum, if the stars align, I can get knocked up to either business or premium economy. So that's always nice. Yeah.
That's exciting.
I got caught on the plane last time I flew to America because I'm not as rich as people think. And I was sitting, I was like, there was someone who knew me on the same plane. And I walked into business, and I always get funny about that stuff. I mean, you know what I'm like. I'm always like, oh, maybe I should just go sit in economy. I don't belong up here. I'm not paying for this. Zero is not paying for this. Just rest assured. Rest assured. Nah, I can fly business if I want. Yeah, that's what I have to tell myself, but I don't believe it. Don't believe it.
When you pulled up in your new car and I was like bowing and stuff, it makes you so awkward.
That was literally like one of the worst days of this year for me.
I love it.
And I knew I had to do it at some point. So I was just like, you just have to do it. It's going to happen. Someone's going to say something. You're going to feel uncomfortable, and then it's done. Everyone will shut up.
We all purposely made a big deal about it to make you feel uncomfortable.
I know this. Very much so.
It's so good. All right. So... what have I got here? All right, so I just wanted to... I put something down, how to cultivate a great training environment. Tom, bro, you've started multiple great training environments. When I go to Southside, it's a little bit of a different vibe to here, but I really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Zero, obviously, this is our home, so we know what it's like here. Zero Brisbane, I haven't really got to go up there much, but I know people love it there. Mackay, Cairns, you've cultivated a few. What's important to you?
I think the main thing to recognize with the training environment is that it's just a reflection of the top down. Mm-hmm. Like a good training environment is just built on who is the leader or the leaders in that place. That just automatically filters down. So if you've got good leaders, then you've got a good training environment. That's the start and the finish of it. And so I'm lucky enough because, I'm lucky enough that, Zero Cairns or Zero Mackay, I'm not there setting the training environment. People can't attribute to that to me. They can attribute it to the brand, and the brand can have its link to me, and I have some influence over like how things should be. But I handpick these people based on qualities that I can't describe that I know are going to be good for the gym. I don't look for the best coaches or the best brands or whatever. I look for people who I know are going to be able to carry the name and be good people that people love to be around. And if you guys ever get the pleasure of going up to Cairns, or Mackay for that matter, and you already know the guys that run those gyms, you'll see how, any of them. I shouldn't just single out those two, but you'll see how close-knit that community is. When you, CJ, you've been to Brisbane a bunch of times. You might not know everyone. You know of everyone, or you see them on social media, but you're kind of like an observer when you go into that environment. Yeah. So you're in it because people make you feel welcome, but you're also a little bit external because you're not part of the crowd just yet. Yeah. And it feels nice. Yeah. Like you feel like this is a cool place to be because of how tight the community is. Yes. That's what I feel like going to Mackay and Cairns, because I don't know a lot of the people up there really well. And even Brisbane and Southside, I don't know a lot of the community now very well. And that's what I feel like. So it's really a reflection of what happens from the top down. But that's you guys here. You guys spend I don't know a lot of the members here, especially in the last few months. There's been so many new people. They're cool and they all say hi to me, and I know it's because you say hi to them and make them feel welcome. Like you guys get to set the scene. So I should be asking you that question. What do you think makes a good training environment?
Well, like you just said, for me, the most important thing is making people feel welcome, because that was the first thing I noticed when I joined here. I was so nervous and felt so out of my comfort zone, and I was immediately welcomed by every member in here. I'm like, I'm going to do exactly the same thing to every person that walks in here. Yeah.
So what does that actually look like? 'Cause that's easy to say, make people feel welcome. What kind of qualities do you think make someone feel welcome?
Something as simple as just saying hello and giving someone a smile. Not everybody wants to stop and talk. Some people are very introverted, but just give them just a warm atmosphere to train in. Yeah.
I feel like that's really good for like, I was thinking more so training environment, but you guys are talking about culture, which is awesome, which is cool. Exactly what you said, just making everyone feel welcome. I always think, I don't know, I do this with everybody. I've got like a little inside joke with everybody. So it kind of makes them feel like, you know, if I've got a connection with them, that's one thing
Makes them feel special.
I always try to. I always have something to say to someone, whether it's me roasting them about something like in particular, and then it just becomes like a back and forth between me and them. That's something that I always think I do. That's something I always do with anyone.
And you're a connector. You connect people together really well, and you can only do that because you're so good at connecting with people.
So that's one thing that I like doing for the culture. That's one thing that I think works really well here. But it's weird because we got so many little here
subcultures.
Yeah, we got so many little subcultures.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's really cool. But they're all together at the same time. Like you'll see on Instagram, these group of people going to dinner together. I'm like, what the fuck? When did you hang out? But I think it's really cool.
Yeah, mad invite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, doing my bicep curls and someone talks, oh, did you hear what happened in the group chat? I'm like, I didn't. Because I'm not in it. No, I'm just being silly. I think I know what you mean then when you say training environment, what makes for a good training environment. So tell me if I'm wrong here, but like one thing that I look for when I'm picking or helping the co-owners pick a location is something open enough to the point where you can almost see everything happening at once. Is that what you mean? Like, because for me, having someone go for a big squat on the main platform in the corner, I want the people doing dumbbell press or bicep curls or on the cable machine to be able to turn around and yell at them. If the whole gym is disconnected, then it makes it really hard for that to occur. It's the one thing that I'm a little bit nervous about with Wales. Wales is too... You imagine if we knocked a hole in that room, that's kind of like what Wales is, but it's more like an L shape. So actually, you imagine if we knocked a hole and went into the building next door on this side. That's kind of like what Wales is, and like all the machines will be one side, all the powerlifting stuff will be on another side. So I'm a little bit worried about it, but I'm also not worried about it because it's similar to when you're upstairs, you don't know what's going on downstairs until you hear it, and you'll be able to hear things and sort of go next door and encourage them. But in terms of training environment, having people access each other is really important. How many times have you seen or been part of someone going for a big lift and everyone comes over without asking? They just stand and wait by the bar to spot. You don't have to say, hey, sometimes you have to ask for it, but most of the time it just happens.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I think breeds a good training environment. And it feeds, it's kind of integrated into the culture because that won't happen unless the culture allows it to do so. So they're kind of connected, but is that what you mean by training environment?
100%. Yeah. And I was just thinking, obviously, a place like this, it's very, we've dialed it in. Obviously, this is a niche sport, but a place like this with similar interests.
Yep.
Everyone's obviously interested in getting stronger in powerlifting.
Yep.
So that's very, so that's what I think separates us from other places like EMF. There's so many different
people training for different reasons.
100% people training for different reasons. People training for completely different sports. For some people, it's it's not training, it's exercise and things like that. Where I think everyone here has got a similar interest. So it makes creating a really strong, positive training environment pretty easy.
Yeah, I think the thing with a place like this is that you can't not be part of the community because it's such a niche. It's so small. Like you can disappear into the crowd in a Worlds or an EMF because there's no concerted effort to make you feel welcome. Yeah, maybe a hello at the front desk. Maybe you form your little crowd but if you choose so, you can disappear from that. And you can kind of do that here a little bit, but it's harder to do. And so you automatically become part of the culture and community, or you find a spot where you can sort of, you kind of get the middle ground here. You can lean more into it or lean more away from it, but regardless, you're part of a broader community. Whereas in a place like that, you can really be by yourself.
And I think this place brings the introverted people out of their shell as well. They come in and they hear everyone else cheering everyone on, and it's hard not to just get involved eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's you.
The love of
Yeah.
heavy circles.
Yeah.
What'd you call me? That's what I feel like after that photo.
That was a great photo.
Yeah, it's a good photo.
I ate a pie straight after in depression.
Depression. Jeez.
That's what I do.
It was a good pie. We went to this place. They had these like, well, you know, Bridget, the fried steak things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, crumb steak.
like, you know when people are like, yeah, it's this fucking big, mate. They were like, yeah, it's this fucking big, mate. It's like a fucking platter. You're like, yeah, righto. It's a slightly bigger crumb steak, and they bring this thing out, and it's literally that big. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, crumb steak's very big in the country.
What's a crumb steak?
It's a crumb steak. So it's like a schnitzel, but it's steak. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Crump steak, like the dance.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, relax, G.
Oh my gosh.
All right. How do you think this training environment, the one that we have here, helps you advance in your training?
Well, you tell me, Bridget. How has it helped you advance in your training?
Well, surrounding yourself with people that are better than you is a great way to advance your training.
Better at the sport than you.
Yeah.
Better than you as human beings. Oh my
That's
gosh.
what motivated me. You know, I thought I was relatively strong until I came here and saw all these amazing people, and it just motivated me to be better, train harder. Absolutely. And all the support.
I'm curious because I haven't been into like an EMF on the Gold Coast. Work ethic wise, do you think you see more work ethic here, or it's kind of the same? Like it averages out, because I'm sure there's some absolute animals that train in places.
There
like that.
is, but people tend to not really look at each other much in commercial gyms.
A commercial gym's like a mall. You kind of just walk in, there's faces around.
Yeah,
you
but you don't really pay attention to what anyone else is doing. People don't want to be looked at in commercial gyms.
I stare at everyone. Hey.
Yeah, people don't like being looked at. You'll be one of those ones that gets called out on TikTok.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I really do. I can't help it.
yeah.
I do it here.
But we can do that here. Like it's
stare.
like as in like watch them train.
I'm like a people. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by human movement. So like I love watching people lift. Like I love watching. I'll look at someone's shoulder moving and be like, oh, that's interesting. Like I love that, and I'm just fascinated by people. I'm just a starer.
It's funny, like yeah. So some of my closest friends is from training. Me and Johnny, my best mate, we knew of each other because my ex-partner and his girlfriend used to work together, but we knew of each other. But we both just knew that we liked training. And then we ran into each other in a mall, in the supermarket one day and said, do you want to train? And then I kind of knew, like, you know, when you talk to someone, you kind of know, all right, he likes training like this.
Yeah.
So we had like we spoke about training. We spoke with a certain level of nuance about certain exercises, and you could just tell by like, the way things that he wore, I was like, no, this guy likes training like me. Like we're kind of similar in that way. So that's the same thing at EMF. Like when I see someone like doing a really nice, well, the biggest thing for me is when I see someone benching with like a nice arch, and I'm like, I want to go talk to this guy, see what he's about.
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't really received an answer to my question.
No. So I'll go up and talk to them, and then I realize, wait, they don't actually want to talk to me. So I've done that a few times.
I
I've
think
gone up to try the combo.
you were asking the question, do people train harder at places like EMF or here? I think we fuck around a lot more here and talk shit for a lot longer because, we're a closer-knit community.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of intensity, we probably train harder here because there's a lot of just Gen Pop clients there who are just going through the motions.
Yeah.
But then you see those odd few.
You're right, because here it's a lot of people's social time as well.
Yeah, sure.
And me and Britt, we spoke about this. We're like, why do we never want to socialize?
And
like outside of work, because that's what we do here. We get our social time in here. So when you go home, it's like, all right, I just want to watch movies and do nothing.
It was so funny. Bridget the other night was like, I just don't have time.
To catch up with my brother. I'm like, I feel bad. Like we never see each other. Life just gets in the way.
And then I was like, we do this every night on the
7
couch.
nights a week.
We've got all the time in the world.
Oh man, it's so true though.
Yeah. What was the original question about training environment?
Oh yeah, how does it
That made me ask that in the first place?
How your training environment can advance your training. All right, how can it hinder your training?
Well, we never answered how it can advance your training.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
did, but you guys didn't.
Because I asked that question because I'm like seeing people training really hard. Yeah, I like seeing people actually get after it. Seeing people yell at other people to get after it as well. I think it almost makes you want to be like, oh, I hope I get yelled at. I hope I'm training as hard enough to make people, yell at me or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. What would you say, CJ?
Yeah, I think it's just what you're saying. Like a lot of people here that are being surrounded by people here that are more better at you at powerlifting, at training. The amount of times of, it doesn't happen that often, but there have been times where, like, for example, someone like Juicy will come up to me and be like, start your next set. Like, you're taking too, stuff like that. And it keeps you accountable. And then, times where you've been like, there's more there. If that's what your last rep looked like, you can go and, you realize there's actually a lot more in the tank, and you have more capacity to actually push harder than you really think. And when it comes to, like, I guess the powerlifting ones, movements, like when you're going heavy, I feel it's just so much better. I don't know what it is, but I think you feel like you're so much more unstoppable when people are yelling at you.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just feels that way. Where the weight doesn't feel as heavy, or when you're grinding out a lift and someone's yelling. For some reason, it just takes away the pain for that moment of grinding through a lift. So, yeah, it really almost unlocks more out of you.
And I don't know about you guys, but when people are yelling at you, it's almost like you don't want to let them down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got the same thing, but with my phone, like with recording. So you'll know I only really record sets that in my head I've convinced myself that I'm not going to be able to do.
Yeah, I think like that's
Like,
sometimes
because
too.
I don't record a lot of my training sessions at all. I don't care. But really, I don't want to see myself squatting high. It's just kind of offensive.
Squatting high.
No, but if I, like, on that squat set earlier in the week, I genuinely didn't think I was going to get it. But if I'm recording and I'm like, I have to get this because I have to post it, then I train way harder.
Yeah, I think like that sometimes too.
I push way harder. And most of the time, I just don't post them.
Yeah.
But it's just this psychological thing that it's there, and so I have to perform. And so it's the same thing as people yelling and screaming. If a crowd does gather or people are like, come on, I'm like, fuck, now I have to actually do well.
Yeah.
Makes you push that extra bit harder for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
I think one thing I'd add to the advantageous nature of the training environment is being exposed to other strong people's circumstances. Because I think, especially with social media and stuff, it's easy to look at someone and be like, oh, training's their job. They've got it easy. Hearing, like, let's take Coops, for example. Strongest bencher ever in Australia. You're like, oh, he must just live and breathe training. Works full-time physical manual labor job, driving a truck, moving heavy stuff. He's got 5 kids and a wife. He's got a family. He lives ages from the gym. So he's got, like, travel time, actual life stuff going on, hard labor job. Torn labrum in his shoulder, comes in and benches 280. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like,
Torn labor.
Yeah.
if you've got it bad, someone's got it worse. And it's cool that you get to see, like, people in tough situations just training it out. And it just gives you perspective sometimes.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I love
Yeah, absolutely.
that. So what was the next one about?
The hindering?
Hindering.
How can a training environment? Well, let's use our one for example.
Talking.
Yeah. Sometimes it's too social.
Phones and talking, for sure.
Yeah, I
Cute dogs.
Yeah.
Yes. Dogs.
Dogs running between your legs during a squat set.
Oh, jeez.
It's funny because it hinders our training, but it enhances
better.
our life.
Exactly.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, there's a happy medium.
It's his life.
So I'm
Which
very
brings
grateful.
on the next question. Where is Buddy?
He's chilling.
He could be chilling here
He's
on my lap.
chilling.
It's
He
like
could be.
it's like I love juicy lifts.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm the biggest hindrance on his training. Because
You just talk to him.
when he I don't leave him alone. I love that guy.
And he's too nice to not talk back.
Yeah. And it was so funny. He was on a real time crunch yesterday. And he was moving real fast. It was funny as fuck. And then he goes, "Oh, I'm sweating." Brother, you're meant to.
That's the idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's an easy one.
I want to say something there about, like, gym owners, personal trainers, etc., saying, oh, I find it hard to train where I work because, people come up and talk to me. That's nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I've done it for 11 years. And yes, absolutely, it's a courteous thing to talk to your clients, talk to your lifters, help people out in the moment. Absolutely. But people play that card and then just train like shit anyway. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. And people are responsive and respectful. If they come up and ask something, you're like, yeah, absolutely, I'll help you out. I'm just going to do a set real quick. Like, you can prioritize both at the same time, make people feel loved and heard and welcomed, and prioritize your training. So don't play that card. Don't want to hear it.
All right,
Fair enough. I'm going to defend myself here.
Oh, I play the card all the time. Don't worry about it.
No. So I sometimes train at another commercial gym, and it's literally because I got to be at jiu-jitsu at this time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I leave, I can't get distracted. I don't know anyone in this gym. I'm there. I don't want to hang out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's perfect for me. I'm like, sweet, finish work, go train, then I can be to jiu-jitsu on time. We're here. You're right. I know what you're saying, but it's like, cool. I'd rather socialize and hang out with people here. So it's for me. I'm not good at
Because I can't help myself either.
Yeah, I can't help myself.
I'll just talk to people.
Oh, I've only got 45 minutes. Juicy.
Yeah. It's tough.
But that's what I mean. Like, you recognize that you can if you want to.
100%. Yeah.
So it's the same. Where it gets the hardest in our situation, I reckon, is wrapping knees. Because it will slow down your training session tremendously. And so for me, it's like, I recognize, okay, everyone's coming to a peak. Everyone's going to want to be wrapped on Monday. I'll just train an hour earlier. So I don't need my knees wrapped. I don't need to have a crowd around me. I can get my stuff out of the way so I can prioritize when I want to prioritize. Like, it's a choice at the end of the day. And if it's valuable enough to you, you'll make it work.
I feel that. All right, I had one more thing, but I might just leave that for next week or whenever Tombo's back. Actually, I'll ask this one. If you had to give someone a single rep/set range to use for SCBD, what would it be and why?
Forever?
Yeah, let's say forever.
Oh. Say again? A single rep?
Like, and set range. So, like 3 by 8 or
3 by 3 to 5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Why?
For strength? Are we talking for strength?
You create your own context around it.
Okay. Well, if it's for general training, 3 by 4 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 3 by 4 to 6. That. Sits nicely in, like, to be doing 3 sets of 4 to 6, you're going to be sitting anywhere between 75% if we're talking easy, 85% if we're talking balls to the wall. And so you can tick all the boxes of going a little bit lighter, thinking about technical stuff, ramping up some volume, contributing towards hypertrophy, although you wouldn't be really using it for hypertrophy. But maintaining and gaining strength can both happen in that range as well.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
What about you guys?
I got nothing to contribute. I like what you just said.
Copy paste?
Yeah.
I was going to say 5 by 5.
5 by 5?
Yeah.
5 by 5 is fun.
Yeah.
Easy to remember.
So that's it. For me, it's a really fun rep range.
Yeah.
You can pick a load that's relatively challenging, but not too challenging. And you get to do 5 sets of it. So you get a good quality amount of volume at that working weight. And to me, it's like it sounds silly because everything's easy to progress in the grand scheme of things, but it's like an easy one to progress. Like, if I'm getting back into training, I always go, boom, I'm going to do this. Next week, I'm going to do this. And I know it's very achievable.
Yeah. It's very nostalgic for me as well. Like,
yeah.
For us especially. But like before social media, back on the forums, like Mad Cow's 5 by 5 was like the GOAT program. It was just like exonerated as like the holy realm of sets and reps.
Oh, I just still remember when I was young and I'd like watch a Cal strength video and I'd walk into the gym and someone would, what are you training? 5 by 5 high bar. Nice. And I thought I was the man. Hey.
It's timeless.
After watching John North.
Yeah, John North.
Yeah, after watching John North fucking
jump and catch.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go 5 by 5.
Sick.
All right. I got some questions. I have to gap it soon. I got a client soon. All right. I got some quiz for you guys. What are the top 3 rated movies ever on IMDb?
Ever.
Oh. One.
Man.
It'll be a really old one, like, I don't know, Gone with the Wind or...
Yeah, wasn't that number 1 for something? Oh, no, we did a quote from Gone with the Wind.
I'm guessing something like A Clockwork Orange is on there.
I'm going to go with...
Gosh.
Sound of Music?
Nope.
Titanic?
Is it
Nope.
I was thinking Titanic. Is it an older movie? Can you give us a clue?
One of them's from the 2000s.
Avatar.
No.
Ah,
Jeez.
the 2000s.
Oh.
Is this something like To Kill a Mockingbird?
Nah. Once I say them, you guys will be like, oh, yeah.
Okay, give us a clue on the plot of the 2000s one.
Or will that give it away?
It will give it away a little bit. We've done quotes on this podcast from the movie.
Have we?
Not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
No.
I was going to say Lord of the Rings.
No, it's not.
A coaching,
Harry Potter.
Nope.
coaching movie?
Nope.
Star Wars?
No. All right. It's a superhero.
Oh.
Not Avengers.
Nope.
It's a superhero.
Batman.
Yes.
Which one?
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
That's ranked number 3.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Of all time?
Yep.
What?
Well, to be fair, IMDb is not the be all and end all.
Yeah. So that's why I used IMDb. Like, yeah.
That's still wild.
All right. Number 1 is classic. You guys might have done it in film studies growing up, because I know I did.
The Wizard of Oz?
No.
Give us a clue.
Um.
Give us the acronym of the name, like the first letter of each word.
T. So
Yeah.
it's 3 words. T, S, and R.
The Star Wars. Wars starts with a W, not an R.
The Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
All right. You guys got.
Oh, it's right in our face as well.
It is, it is,
I
it is.
bet it is.
Nah.
All right. Number 1 is Shawshank Redemption. The Shawshank Redemption.
Of course, that's what it is.
Shawshank Redemption.
All right. Number 2 is
Clue.
it's an Al Pacino movie.
Scarface.
No, maybe it's not an Al Pacino movie.
It's not Scarface?
Are you thinking Robert De Niro?
Go-
Are you thinking
Godfather?
Taxi Driver? Oh,
Correct.
Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we've got
Oh,
1
that's really
Shawshank Redemption,
surprising.
2 Godfather, 3 The Dark Knight. Number 4 is The Godfather Part 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched those movies. I think I'm going to have
What?
I know. I'm going to have to watch them.
And number 5 is Angry Men. You guys probably wouldn't have got that.
what-
It's from
how they massacred my boy.
So that's from 1957.
Jeez.
That's the
The
quote.
Godfather movies are so long. I think that's why I haven't
They're worth it.
committed to them.
You watched The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's different. That's very different.
3 hours is 3 hours.
Totally different.
Okay, wait. I'm
She's
curious
dying
about
on
this.
that sword.
How is it different?
Because it's a fantasy world.
Dying on this sword makes no sense.
You know that like all movies are kind of fantasy, right?
Does The Godfather have wizards?
Film.
Yeah.
Does it have wizards?
Yeah, I mean like there's these metal things that kill
Sicilian.
people. There's a horse head on the bed.
Oh, I know that part.
All right. Who are the top 5 highest streamed?
Wait. You have to watch it because there's so much like pop culture things that'll make sense.
Yeah.
That was me with Back to the Future. I only watched it like a year or 2 ago. And so I'm like, everything in life makes sense now.
Everything in life.
The only reason I watched it is because I'm like, I think Rick and Morty's based on this.
It is. Doc and
Obviously
Marty.
it is. Yeah. So I watched it and I'm like, Sorry, what were you going to say, James?
All right. Who is the highest streamed artist on Spotify in the last decade?
In the last decade? Drake?
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yep.
Fuck, I would have thought it would be like Taylor Swift or something.
I nearly said
I was
Taylor Swift.
thinking Taylor
But
Swift.
for like a long time, she didn't let any of her music on Spotify. Yes.
Who was the highest played streamed artist on Spotify last year, 2022? He was also the highest streamed artist in 21 and 2020 as well.
3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not
No.
Drake?
Nope.
J. Cole?
Nope.
Is it like Bieber or something?
Be
No.
J. Cole for me.
It is. Dear CJ.
It'd be J. Cole for me.
Yeah, we know, brother.
Yeah. It literally gets on repeat at the barbershop all the time.
Can I
Is
get a
it
cut?
Bruno Mars?
Every single
Bruno
time.
Mars?
First
No,
things first.
he's not American.
Oh,
Oh, I gave
hang
a clue away.
He's
Enrique
American.
Iglesias.
No, but you're on the right track.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Shakira?
No.
No, it's a guy.
Mm-hmm. And people go crazy for him.
Ricky Martin. Robbie Williams.
No. No. When I say you're on the right track, Latin American. Come on,
Really?
CJ.
Latin American?
When I say it, you're going to be like, of course.
Okay. Pitbull?
No.
Like,
CJ.
I'm trying to think Latin Americans.
I'm going to say it.
Go.
Bad Bunny.
What is Bad Bunny?
I don't really know Bad Bunny.
Oh, do you
I know
not?
of
No.
Bad Bunny.
I've
Yeah, I've
heard
heard
you
Bad
mention him.
Oh,
So
yeah.
for the 3 years, he's the highest streamed artist. That is wild.
I'm actually surprised. Maybe it's a Spotify thing. I'm surprised it wasn't something out of India.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, especially, or maybe I'm thinking getting my wires crossed with movies. Like, isn't the number one subscribed YouTube channel
Yes.
a Bollywood channel or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That but Latin American music's always
Oh,
humongous.
it's massive.
Yeah, so Bad
It's
Bunny's
massive.
huge. And number 2 was Taylor Swift,
T-Sweets.
Drake, The Weeknd, and BTS. It was a K-pop group.
Yeah.
So it's actually
I was thinking it might have been like a K-pop group.
so it's crazy. There's only one American in that 5, which is Taylor Swift.
Wow.
All right. Next one is top 5 most listened to classic rock artists ever.
Metallica.
Classic rock.
Metallica's number 5. You got that.
Classic
AC/DC.
rock.
AC/DC's number 3.
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses is number 2.
Black Sabbath?
No.
The Rolling Stones.
No. So we need
Led
1
Zeppelin.
and 4. No.
Chili Peppers.
Nope.
Jimi Hendrix.
Nope.
Does Queen count?
1.
Ooh.
Queen.
So there's one
yeah,
more.
I was going to say.
Queen's
Classic.
number 1.
Ah, but we're missing one, right?
Mhm.
Wait, who are we missing?
Number 4.
Oh, 4.
Classic rock.
Deep Purple? No.
Nope.
I'm trying to think like really, really big ones.
Give
Do
us
I listen to them?
give us a clue.
2 words?
Savage Garden.
No.
Savage Garden.
uh,
I don't know why that came straight into my head.
How classic are we talking? Like what era do you
hold
know?
on, hold on.
Can you give us the acronym of the 2 words?
No, because that'll give it away. Let me.
Led Zeppelin?
No,
Oh,
that's
I
been
said
said.
Led Zeppelin. Yeah.
Don't look at my
I'm
phone.
not looking at your phone. I'm looking at CJ. I don't like to cheat.
Def Leppard.
No,
Ooh. Motley Crue.
no. It's my life.
Bon Jovi?
Yeah,
Really?
Mhm.
There you go.
I was not expecting that.
yeah.
Mm.
Bon Jovi.
No, yeah, I would have never guessed that. If you gave me like
Same.
100 guesses.
Same. But he was huge like back in the
Yes.
80s and 90s.
Yes. But he's not who I think of when I think classic rock. You know what I mean?
No.
So I would have never guessed that.
I'd just think bands, right?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was a Queen.
Did you
Queen
get
was
any
number
on
one.
this days?
Yes.
Right. Well, they discovered
It was-
liquid water on Mars on this day.
How long ago?
I don't know.
Wow.
Really?
They did the first nuclear
Liquid
fusion.
water,
Liquid water.
or that there was a presence of liquid water?
They
Or
discovered.
did they actually find liquid water?
I don't know.
All right. So today in music, 1969, Apple Records releases the Beatles' 11th studio album, Abbey Road, their final recording as a quartet.
Wow. That's the famous picture where they're walking across the
Today in
pedestrian
sport,
crossing.
Australia wins the America's Cup race, the first ever non-US winner.
Who was it? Marcus Ambrose?
Oh, just Australia. And then
Wait, America's Cup is in the yacht race.
yeah,
Oh, it's a yacht race.
The first non-American winner.
yeah.
What?
Mm.
I thought New Zealand won heaps.
They did. Yeah.
Was that after?
Must have been.
After
yeah.
that point.
Yeah. 1968, Oliver, directed by Carol Reed and starring Mark Lester and Ron Moody, premieres in London. Best Picture, 1969.
Wow.
I've never seen it.
Me either,
I've
but I
only-
know like...
I've only seen up to the point where he says, "Sir, can I please?"
May I have some more?
See, I just watch lots of sport and, lots of
that's
fighting, UFC,
It's not fu-
rugby.
it's not funny when you say it. That doesn't count.
Oliver as in like the tap dancing musical that they always have?
I don't know if it's tap dancing, but
not tap dancing,
assume
but-
there's dance. Maybe there's dance. I don't
Literally,
know.
all I know about it is.
Oh,
Please, Sir,
no,
Can I
you're
Have Some More?
thinking-
You're thinking of Billy Elliot.
Billy Elliot. That's what I was thinking of,
Yeah.
not Oliver.
Oliver's the little poor boy in the orphanage.
Okay.
He goes up with the empty bowl and asks for more, and then the guy gets mad at him.
Oh, yes. No, I haven't seen Oliver.
Yeah.
All right, fam. I got to go.
100th
Go do it.
episode.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the ZeroW Podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, ZeroW_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.